I recently got into a conversation with someone who claims to be a fan of mine and a trans ally, but she refuses to use the word cisgender. And here's why that sucks. You've got black women, you've got white women, you've got tall women, short women, disabled women, able-bodied women, gay women, straight women, trans women, and what? Normal, regular, real women? What do you say?
She's a woman!
By including the term cisgender into your language, you are including trans people into society. Do you see that?
No, I don't.
It's important to change your language to adopt a group. If you don't do that, you marginalize us and you give governments and lawmakers permission to continue to push us to the side, to see us as the other, as something outside of society. Please stop.
Well, that's a dilemma for women who believe that it's possible to support trans women without denying the existence of actual women. You know, there are some women who believe that there is a rational, practical middle ground where you can include trans women in womanhood without actual women being affected. And this man in this video just made the point, the obvious point, that this is logically impossible. And he is right in that regard. If trans women are women, real women must accept the term cis woman. You must. There is no other way to regard a man as a woman without insulting and reducing the status of biological women. That is why they have come up with this derogatory terminology, and you just have to accept it if you want to be an ally.
Those are the rules.
But that logic doesn't apply to people like me. We don't want to be allies of this ridiculous movement. We don't accept the lie that anyone is trans. We say trans people, or the terminology trans, is a euphemism for people with apparent mental health issues. We are not afraid to admit that these people are abnormal. They are sick, confused, deceived, deceptive, selfish baby tyrants craving attention and control.
Wow.
There is no middle ground with these guys. Maybe in your imagination, in your dream. I mean, how can you correlate two opposing views? How can you hold them? You know, you either reject the notion entirely or you accept it completely. You either disagree with the lie that men can become women or you accept it and everything that comes with it. There is no sitting on the fence or striking a balance. You can't ally with these freaks without debasing yourself, your gender, and your sense of personhood. Everything has to go if you want to accept that this guy is a woman.
Yesterday I made a video explaining how cis people being okay with the word cis and adopting the word cis would actually be a great show of allyship for the trans community, and the amount of hateful backlash I got on daring to suggest such a thing literally led me to cry myself to sleep. Comments on trans related videos typically come in three forms. You've got 1, people who thank me and say, wow, that's something I didn't know, thank you so much for sharing it, and you're very welcome. 2, usually men saying things like, you're a bloke, you'll never be a woman, get help mate. Fine, block them, throw them away, they don't bother me. And 3, usually women who turn the argument on themselves, make themselves the victim and say, trans people are throwing all this down our throats, I am a good ally and I support you, but you should support the fact that I don't want to be called cis even though you are cis. The hate that fuels these, the lack of empathy, just has me crying, literally crying, because they can't empathize at all and they don't want to, so I'm not going to be checking comments ever again at all.
You know, here is one member of the trans community that I find something in common with. Obviously, we don't share the same views. We are distance apart when it comes to ideology. My ideology is based in reality. This one's ideology is based in an illusion, a delusion.
That's a huge difference.
You know, it's like the North Pole and the South Pole when it comes to our views. But we are annoyed by the same people. We are. I mean, these women who believe that they can support the LGBTQ agenda and still complain about it are pretty annoying. I mean, it is really, really annoying. These people want to eat their cake and have it. How can you support what you claim is invading your space, seizing opportunities that rightfully belongs to you, and insulting your personhood? How can you recognize the evil of this movement and can perfectly articulate and express it in the comments, yet you say you support it? How can you support such? You annoy everyone with your inconsistency. You can't have it both ways. You are playing both sides because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. But how is that working out for you?
I don't get you. Pick a side.
These people don't care about your sympathy. They don't want you to sympathize with whatever struggle they claim to be going through. In fact, they don't even see it as a struggle. The only struggle that they recognize is the one that you and your half-baked allegiance is creating for them. They don't even see that what I'm going through is a mental health crisis. It's an identity issue. You might recognize that and you are sympathetic to that, but they don't care about that. They want you to debase yourself in total allegiance. That's what they want. And if you want to be sympathetic, then you have to tell these people the truth. You have to stand with the truth. There is no empathy in lying to people. There is none.
Tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
And I don't know what this guy wants from us, to give him a medal for crying himself to sleep. You cried yourself to sleep. So what? Congratulations. Should we congratulate you? Oh, somebody should give this guy a prize for being a manipulative moron who preys on the gullibility of simple-minded women too stupid to see through his meaningless emotional blackmail?
Damn.
What you deserve from any woman, is the tallest middle finger on both hands. I mean, that would have been your exceeding great reward in a relatively normal society. But unfortunately, that's not what we are living in today, right? And you know what would be better than not checking the comments? How about not posting at all? Consider staying on social media instead of staying on it and spreading ridiculous lies and getting offended by the fact that somebody confronts you with the truth.
Many of these disgusting and insinuating attacks on trans and LGBT people are actually projections of what predatory, cisgender, and often straight men do when left alone in the presence of women, or sometimes horribly children. So instead of getting you to challenge the patriarchy, they're trying to get you to challenge the very gender expressiveness that challenges patriarchy. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of people attacking drag are projecting.
Oh my God, what an absolute idiot. Some people are so stupid that it is unbelievable. Yes, AOC, yes, men are the perpetrators of predatory behavior against women. The people who voted for you are probably unaware of this fact. So please inform them. Let them know that men are the ones who sexually take advantage of women.
Isn't it obvious?
And maybe you should just throw in the fact, right, that is a good reason why they should not be allowed into women's restroom, private spaces, prisons, and changing rooms. Maybe that's the fact you should add. You know, even if it wears a dress and goes by Caitlyn, the patriarchy is still the patriarchy. That's the point that sane and rational people are trying to make, AOC.
Common sense.
And you must be miraculously stupid to think or suggest that a man in a dress is somehow challenging the patriarchy. So a serial rapist with a wig is no longer a threat to a woman? And how does that help women? Well, who said anything about helping women? There is no such thing as a woman. You know, that word must now only exist with a prefix, cis woman or trans woman. What we now have are people who give birth and people who menstruate and people who use she, her pronouns. And all of that is, inclusive language, right?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.